Hey, you beautiful people, it is Maggie Liz, and it's been a while, so I think it's time to catch up. So, as you can tell, I'm in a totally different location, and actually, I'm in a totally different state now. I moved. I moved back around like October 20th. I think we got here like the 21st. But basically, one day, me and my fiance, you heard that correctly, we are also engaged. We both kind of looked at each other one day and we were like, let's leave. Let's just fuck it. Let's leave. And that's exactly what we did. I kind of just up and left my job, which I do feel bad about because I love the people I worked with. There weren't many of us. There were only like three of us, so definitely feel bad about that. But this is something that I really wanted to do myself. I mean, I would be lying if I said I never dreamt about leaving Missouri, because I did a lot, especially when I was younger. About the time I was like early teens, I always kind of wanted to leave. And I actually kind of always had like that daydream where like I would just literally up and leave like I did now. So we ended up getting some bus tickets to Florida. So we took a few different buses, obviously, and I think like the first one, like we went to like Alabama. I think we also went to Arkansas. Uh, can't remember the other state we stopped in. Oh, Georgia. That's what it was. Georgia. So yeah, we kind of just up and left, and here we are in Florida. He actually already got a job. He is at work now, which is why I'm filming this because I don't like filming in front of people. But he is at work now. He's actually a shift supervisor at Wendy's. He just started yesterday. I'm still looking for a job, which I have so many written down. I have, hold on, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 15. I have 15. And I've already called a few of them yesterday because I put in applications a while ago. Called a few yesterday. None of them really worked out. They were all looking for like managers, graveyard shifts, and things like that. So, but yeah, hopefully all of that kind of works out and I find something soon. Apparently, right now though, like finding a job, not jarb, job anywhere right now is pretty fucking difficult. Like a lot of people are having to go to Orlando, Mims, which is a couple places around here. Obviously, I'm not going to tell you exactly where I am, but yeah, like people are having to go like all the way to Orlando, which is like an hour away just for work. But of course, I don't drive right now. I do have my permits. That's another thing I also got accomplished. Is I did get my permit. It's a Missouri permit though, so I'm gonna have to retake the Florida one. But at least I got the confidence, got through my anxiety enough to actually get it the first time. So I think the second time will be even more easier. Especially because I heard, and so is my fiance, that apparently Missouri is like one of the hardest places to like pass the permit test and driving test. So if I pass that, I feel like hopefully this one should be pretty easy then. I will say it has been such a big change not being in Missouri anymore. I mean, I lived in Missouri literally my whole life. I've only left the state a few times. Like I think really the only place I would ever actually go was Kansas to visit family because I had a lot of family up there. And then I went to Washington once when I was like 7 or 8 for my great grandmother, her birthday. So yeah, like I have not really had the experience of leaving the States. And I will say, after that like 26-hour long like bus trip, I don't think I ever want to fucking see a bus or travel again. Like he even told me, he was like, next time we're getting a plane because it was cheaper technically, and we were only had so much money to work with, not much. Like I think by the time we got here, we had less than $100 to our name. So yeah, like we literally came here with nothing. But hey, I'm totally okay with that. Obviously, it's hard dealing with like not having all of those things, but at the same time, it's definitely taught me to grow up a lot more because I mean I've always relied on my parents, my family. I'm 25, he's 30. Time for us to do our own thing, but we do live with his mom and stepdad. And grandfather. But I mean, for the most part, like we're pretty much on our own. Like she'll buy him like pouches and stuff. But I mean, besides that, like yeah, when it comes to everything else, like it's just us. But it's definitely taught us to grow up. So, which I know I needed to do for sure. Like I couldn't just live off my family for the rest of my life. Like no, I didn't want to do that. And I will say my parents were kind of supportive. Oh, sorry, my didn't realize my finger was covering the screen. Yeah, they were kind of supportive in a way. So my whenever I told them, uh, I was like, yeah, like we're gonna be leaving within like the next couple of days. Like we left, like we came up with the idea of leaving, and within I think 2 days we were on our way to the bus station. So yeah, it was a very out of nowhere decision and very quick decision. But my dad, he was pretty supportive for the most part. Like he kind of kept like raising some doubts about things, but for the most part he was pretty supportive. My mom was supportive. She was very upset though because obviously I'm her baby, so like it's very hard to watch your baby leave, especially out of nowhere. Like it would have been one thing if I probably would have stayed like a week or so, 2 weeks. They could have gotten used to the fact that I wasn't going to be there anymore. But it just kind of happened. She cried a lot. She took us out to dinner before we left because she had to go to work. So we went to the place she works because it's a restaurant, and we ate beforehand, and so she could say goodbye to me and spend time with me. And she cried a lot, which I mean, I feel like that's any mother's instinct because apparently, like, whenever he moved in with me in Missouri, yeah, his mom, like, fucking was bawling her eyes out. And now my sister, she was not very supportive at first. Like, not at all. Like, she was very much against it. Especially because she thought, like, he was kind of almost like manipulating me into, like, coming down here. And I'm like, no. Like, if I didn't want to come, especially with how big of a fucking, like, decision this is, I wouldn't have. Like, just simple as that. But yeah, she was not very supportive at first. She's very supportive of it now because she sees like how happy I am and like how well for the most part I'm doing besides like the whole job thing. But I mean, hey, at least he has a job now, so we'll have an income coming in. So yeah, like now that we got that out of the way, next we'll be saving up for a car, getting our permits again, but the Florida one, which apparently the DMV that we have to go get it is not going to be reopened. Like they're closing for like a whole month because they closed the 18th of November and they're going to be, I think, closed until the 18th of December. But once they reopen, we're going to schedule it and do all that. We were going to try to do it before they closed, but since we didn't have money, his mom couldn't really afford it either because I paid like $7 for my permit in Missouri. Apparently here it's like 40. I'm like, Jesus Christ, that is way more than I expected. So for both of us, it would have been 80, where in Missouri it was only like 14 for both of us, because I think it was like 7 and some change. So yeah, it was like 14, $15. Yeah, big, big difference. Would you think with everything, like how expensive everything is here, I've realized because things here are pretty expensive, a lot more expensive than it was in Missouri. You would think that the minimum wage would be higher, but I don't think it is. Actually, not entirely sure what the minimum wage here is, but most of the jobs I'm finding are like 13, 14 an hour, which I was making 14 an hour where I worked, which our minimum wage was 12 in Missouri. I'm not sure what it is here. I think it's about 12 as well. Even though I saw a job earlier for, I think it was Pizza Hut, which I did also apply for because money's money. It was only like 11 an hour, so I don't know. But I think that also might have been plus tips. I'm not sure because I know some places, like, well, departments that you work in Pizza Hut, they will let you have tips and stuff. I can't remember exactly what I applied for, but I think it was like a server type, so I should make tips. So maybe that's why it's so low. Because I know when I worked at Sonic, I only made like even though minimum wage was like, I think at that time, like 9 an hour. If I made under a certain percentage, well, a certain amount, I would make minimum wage. But if I didn't, like if I made like a lot more than what the bar was, then I would make only like 7 an hour. So maybe that's why. And another thing is, I was a huge pothead. I don't know if anybody ever like caught on to that, which I don't think I really was like as big of a pothead as I was like after I stopped, posting as much and all that. But it's illegal here in Florida, so I can't smoke. I haven't been smoking. And actually, I feel kind of a lot better without weed because, like, with weed, I would always be in my head. Like, I would always, like, be thinking of everything. My mind would be going 1,000 miles per hour. Where, like, I still kind of deal with my mind doing that, but I feel like I'm not in my head nearly as much. So I'm kind of glad that it's illegal here and I'm not, like, tempted to get it because obviously I can't unless if I have my medical. Even though there are a lot of fucking dealers around here, and I mean a lot. That's also apparently why they did, like, a lot of people didn't vote to, like, pass uh, weed being legal here because it was on the ballot. But apparently that's why, because a lot of those dealers are worried about losing all their money. And yeah, I guess that makes sense, but come on. Like, the people like us who don't want to do that shit illegally, come on. But, it's been interesting to get used to. And I also had to pack my entire life in one suitcase and a carry on. So that was fun. I had to go through all my clothes, which I had a lot, and figure out like what actually was important to me, what I would need. And obviously, I didn't really bring any of my like more warm clothing because it doesn't get nearly as cold here. Like, it was pretty chilly this morning, but I mean, it still doesn't get that cold. So all I have for like a jacket or like warm clothing is a leather jacket, and then I have sweatpants. Everything else is like shorts, or I do have like a couple pairs of jeans for work and stuff. And I think I also brought a pair of short jeans as well. But yeah, everything else is like screams for the weather. Someone's not getting out of the way. I don't know if you can hear that, but there's sirens outside, and apparently, whoever it is will not get out of the way because an ambulance or something kept honking. Anyway, I also, another thing that, kind of a slight update is I did actually start anxiety meds, but I'm no longer on them. I think I only took them for like maybe like a couple months, but I'm not gonna lie, like I was already kind of a slight emotional wreck beforehand, like, getting emotional all the time. Those anxiety pills made it so much worse. Like, I was emotional all the time. Like, so I took a Buspirone, and I can't remember what the other one was called, but it's basically Lexapro. It was like a more off-brand version of it, basically. And yeah, I was an emotional fucking wreck. Like, there were pretty much every day, like, my fiance would be sitting there as I'm crying, and he's like, I don't know if I did something. Like, are you okay? So, yeah, anxiety meds apparently just do not cooperate with my mind very well. That's so weird. So, like, I, stopped recording because I started getting a phone call, and I went to go pick it up, and I'm like, hello? Didn't hear anything. I looked down, and my phone's, on my, like, lock screen, and doesn't even say I missed a call. Like, did I answer and they hung up? Like, I don't know. And now, instead of being a real adult and calling them back, I'm looking it up. Yeah, it was just some spam debt collector type thing. Figured. Another fun fact is, uh, so my fiance's mom, she has like 11 cats. Yes, you heard me correct. And as of now, 3 dogs, because the other day we had a dog adopt us. And so basically, how that happened was, I guess, like, this guy tells us that she jumped out of his truck at CVS. CVS is like 6, 7 miles away, and there's plenty of houses around there. So there's no freaking way that dog somehow came all of that way into our backyard. But that's what happened. The dog came to our backyard, and we were trying to find the owner. This girl messaged the mom and was like, yeah, like, here's the description. His mom was like, okay, yeah, that's the dog. And the guy, it was a guy that came to get the dog. And I guess, like, the girl was one of his friends trying to help him. And you could tell it was his dog because the dog immediately, like, ran up to him, fucking, like, jumped, like, had her paws, like, up on his shoulder, you know. But apparently his girlfriend doesn't like dogs. They already have two, and I guess, like, he adopted this dog like 3 months ago at a shelter. But you could tell he was very overwhelmed, and he was like, yeah, this dog definitely seems happy here. And she was like, yeah, like, I was, gonna try to get you to let us have her. And he was like, well, that's not off the table. And after talking a little bit, he decided that it would probably be best for that dog if she stayed here. And her name is Nala. Such a pretty name. And actually, she looks identical to a dog that my parents have named Lexa. Like, same white patch, all black, like, white patch on her chest, some, like, white on her paws, on her, like, little fingers. And yeah, like, looks just like her, except for maybe just slightly smaller, but barely. It is a pit bull black lab mix, which I know, the only reason why I know that is because that's what Lexa was, and they look identical. Like, you could tell that they're the exact same breed. But yeah, so now we have 3 dogs. We did just have 2. There's Zeus and Frost, or as I like to call her, Frosty. And then they have like 11 cats. I would name all of them, but that would take way too long. But yeah, I guess that's it. I kind of just want to update you guys. I haven't uploaded in over a year, but I moved to a whole new state. I got engaged, planning on hopefully getting married within, like, we're gonna try for Christmas, but I honestly don't think that's gonna happen because that's, barely a month away, a little over. But if it happens, that would be amazing. But I'm not gonna get my hopes up, obviously. But yeah, hopefully the next time you guys do see me, I will be married. And maybe I'll be able to introduce you guys to my fiance. He's a great guy. He's absolutely amazing. Best man I've ever met. And I don't know what I would do without him. He's definitely the love of my life. And I never thought I'd ever say that or find the love of my life. Sorry, I'm slightly shaky. Happens when I hold the phone for so long. Uh, but yeah, like, I never thought I would, and he actually didn't either. But both of our parents kind of told us the same thing, which is there's someone there for everyone, and we found each other. Which I don't know if I ever told you guys how we met. I don't think so. We actually met on Meet Me. We met August 26th, which is just what we basically consider our anniversary, August 26th of last year. So yeah, we've been together for over a year now. It's my longest relationship and my last relationship because I love this man and I can tell he loves me too. So yeah, anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, give this video a big thumbs up. Smash that like button. I will try to upload as frequently as possible, but as you can tell, I'm not much of an uploader anymore. I kind of lost the spark of making videos, which kind of sucks, but who knows? Might regain it one day. I mean, obviously, it's slightly coming back if I sat down to make this almost 20-minute video, so. But yeah, I love you guys. I hope you guys have a fantastic day. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.